How's that nice girlfriend of yours?
Oh, she got hit by a car. She's dead.
For many, Happy Gilmore is a classic. It's not typically held up as an example of brilliant screenwriting, but today I'm going to be talking about why Happy Gilmore has some great lessons for new feature film writers, and they are all to do with stakes. Every story needs stakes. That is, what's on the line if the character doesn't succeed? Tip 1. Build stakes we care about. What I think is great about Happy Gilmore is that Happy isn't just competing for money or glory like a lot of other sports films that you see. I wonder if this may have been the case in an early draft of the script before someone came up with the idea of Happy competing to get his grandma her home back.
And if you can't get the money together in 90 days, we're gonna have to sell the house to someone else. You hate me, don't you? No, I don't hate you.
This is a really endearing cause for Happy to fight for, especially when we see early in the film how sweet their relationship is. It kind of kills two birds with one stone because, A, we don't want to see that sweet old lady get out of her home.
She's old. You can't just take her stuff. She's too old.
And B, it makes Happy look very noble. It makes his character very empathetic to the audience to the point where we forgive him for, well, all of this stuff.
Don't you ever touch my pucks!
When writing your film, try and ask the question, okay, what are the stakes? Are they compelling enough to make the audience bite their nails during moments like this? Point 2. Measurable goals. One of the things that makes the stakes in Happy Gilmore work so well is because what Happy needs to do to come out on top is very simple and measurable. Win the golf tournament. Do you ever find yourself watching a film and you're just waiting and waiting to figure out where it's going? Boring. This problem usually occurs in movies because it is unclear what the hero's quest is. This is accomplished early in Happy Gilmore. We find out Grandma's home is under threat, and then we find out he's going to play golf to get it back.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
The stakes established earlier are meaningless if the audience can't follow whether the hero is getting closer or further away from victory. And this will result in there being no tension throughout the film. Sports films, romantic comedies, and detective films all do this sort of thing well. We know what the protagonist's mission is early. Win the tournament, get the girl, solve the crime. Look at your script and try and determine if the parameters of victory are nice and clear to the audience. Happy Gilmore also keeps us invested in the film by frequently reminding us of what Happy is competing for, and what exactly he needs to do to win in scenes such as this.
As long as I don't come in last place in the next 2 tournaments, we'll get the money in time.
Oh, that's wonderful, Happy.
Point 3. Raise the stakes. Having compelling stakes in your film is one thing, but the key is to try and raise the stakes as the film progresses. Just when you think the hero has it all figured out, things get more difficult and winning becomes even more important. This will keep the audience invested. In Happy Gilmore, first, Grandma loses her home. Then, not only that, but she is put in an awful nursing home with this guy.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
Our desire to see Happy succeed is raised even further when Happy meets
Shooter McGavin.
What an asshole.
Shooter McGavin has a couple of qualities that make for a good antagonist. He's an asshole, and he's powerful.
I was on this tour for one reason, money. But now I got a new reason, kicking your ass.
Well, I'd like to see you try.
Both these things make us even more desperate to see Happy win. When the bad guys are stronger than the good guys, you set the good guys up to be an underdog. Everyone loves an underdog. And when the enemy really is a douchebag, it makes the final victory oh so much sweeter.
Damn you people, this is golf! Not a rock concert!
The stakes reach their highest point at the end of the film when Happy makes the following deal with Shooter.
Tour championships next week, right? That's right. If I beat you, I get the house back. You beat me, I'll quit.
You're gonna beat me? At golf? Oh, you're on. You're in big trouble, though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
Suddenly, if Happy doesn't win, 1, he has to quit golf, a sport we now believe he's meant to play, and 2, Grandma will not only lose her house, but the last person in the world that we want to see get it will. Shooter. You see how the stakes at the end of the film have grown to be so much bigger than they were at the beginning, and the audience becomes so much more invested in the outcome of the tournament. Point 4. Raise the difficulty. As the stakes get higher throughout your film, you also want to raise the level of difficulty for your character. Write them into a hole that seems impossible to get out of, and when they do it, it makes for a much more compelling story. On the last day of the tournament, Happy Gilmore is firstly hit by a car, giving him a painful back injury, and then things get even more difficult when the tower collapses on the final hole, blocking his shot.
Talk about a rough day at work.
Seeing Happy sink the impossible part really is satisfying. I'm not saying Happy Gilmore is the perfect film, but it highlights the importance of building compelling stakes, something to try and emulate when writing your own films. Thanks for watching.